Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. You know what time it is. It is time for First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Hey. Coming in crisp and clean, clear as Tilda Swinton. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Get your body moving. Hey, what's really going on?
What's happening?
Hey, got a good morning from Pops already. Good morning, Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich, and the First Sky fam. How can it be Friday already again? I heard that.
Man.
Boy.
Me and Rich already told you.
Say what?
Say me and Rich already told you. Time is speeding up.
That's real. Got some evidence to back it up. Brother Muhammad gives us the Assalamu alaikum family. Let's do it.
Hey, let's go.
Alaikum salam, bro. Leia Keister in the house. Happy Friday. Judy Prince with a happy Friday. Are y'all feeling good about it being Friday?
Yeah, man.
What's happening?
They're excited about the weekend. You go to the Friends of page, all types of HAPS happening.
Man, let's turn into the Friends of HAPS page.
Man.
Rome's Reviews gives us a in the morning.
Hey.
Right there singing your hook.
I knew somebody was gonna catch the bug.
Ty Williams, good morning with some sunshine. Appreciate it.
Hey, let it in.
Once again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. Shout out to the radio listeners over there on First Sky Omaha. The listen button. You can also reach us on your Alexa as well if you have one of those. Welcome to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd. Star Trek Rich is under the weather today, so he's not here. Yeah, so well wishes to Star Trek Rich. He works hard, man. He might just be wearing himself out, you know.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, self-care, you need those regeneration days. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta have them. Yeah. Welcome to Friday, March 25th, 2021. I hope we get some regeneration days this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How you doing over there, buddy?
I'm all right. Feeling good. Actually, I will say, last night, well, first of all, let me rewind a little bit. My in-laws have moved down here with us about let's say about 2 weeks ago now. Okay. So now we got somebody to watch the littles, because if you remember, daycare is like $3,000 a month here, and that's just for childcare. Man, ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So now we kind of got somebody to be at home while the little sleep, and allow me and the missus to actually enjoy Atlanta and kind of explore. So we went to a kickback last night. Very, very, not too crowded. Is like they had hacky sack or sack toss and oversized Jenga and life-size chess, all that. Anyway, long story short, found out that the event we were at was next door, or at the intersection of Headland and DeLoe.
Okay.
If you know anything about Outcasts, a couple years ago at Headland and DeLoe was the starter, Something Good.
Oh man. So the house where the dungeon was at?
Not the dungeon, but the beauty shop. Where Big Boy and Andre met Rico Wade was next door to the spot we were at. Was next door to the spot we were at. And I didn't notice until we were leaving. I'm like, hold up.
Man,
that says Headland and DeLoe. Look it up, y'all. Just look it up. They talk about it in documentaries. I actually seen video of that plaza, and it just didn't dawn on me that's who I was, but it was literally ground zero of Atlanta history last night.
At the start of Something Good, right there.
Man, my mind was blown. So I'm still kind of floating off of that last night.
Speaking of Atlanta, season 3 of Atlanta dropped last night.
Yeah.
Since I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning for this, I did not stay up till 2 in the morning to watch it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking forward to watching it as soon as we get home. Pops in the chat says, "Feel better, Star Trek Rich. We miss you."
Definitely.
Good morning and positive vibes from Michelle Moreno. Good morning. Kimber Snipes gives us a good morning.
Hey.
Love that article, by the way, you were talking about on the nonprofit news sector. You know, we're always interested in that because that's our jam.
Yeah, man.
Amy Huffley says good morning, fam, and Miss Erica Phelps says good morning. Got the fam in the house. That's what's up.
Top of the morning.
Thanks for getting up early with us. Yeah, man. We've been looking at the Friends of First Sky Omaha page, and you guys have it's chock full of events. So
Man.
we'll definitely be talking and having extensive HAPS today. Lots to talk about, but we definitely will talk about what's going on, what's coming up, and also found some other resources and stuff for some other HAPS, other artists out here putting stuff together to tell you what's going on around town. So we'll definitely be talking about that. Yeah, she said yes. Immediately thought of y'all, Miss Snipes. Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we're I mean, look at the landscape that we're in right now. Our partners that are in nonprofit news like Flatwater Free Press. You know, it's in who else could we say? I guess the Reader would be alternative news as well.
Yeah.
Even though
Noise.
they have subscription Noise, right? So we have a great opportunity as far as nonprofit news in Omaha, and even though some of these other entities are better funded than we are, you know, based on what the guys at Flatwater, for instance, kind of went out all in Nebraska. They're representing all of Nebraska. We're kind of concentrating on north and south side of Omaha, so they have a bigger agenda
and a bigger pot,
and a more commercial organization a little bit. So that they're there and they do get very well funded, but you know, it's we have a lot of representation in Omaha for alternative news, so it's a good thing. Anyway, Christy Ignore says good morning. And just to continue on a little bit about the HAPS, we have an extensive HAPS a little later on today because we're looking at Friends of First Sky Omaha. You guys have put a lot of events in, and there's a lot of events coming up. Plus, the weather's getting better, and people are venturing out a little bit more. So we'll definitely be talking about more of the HAPS, and we want to put that idea back out there about building our HAPS calendar. So I know that a couple of you have volunteered to help put some of that stuff together. I found some good resources just this morning, as a matter of fact. Like I say, other artists are doing some of this. So maybe we can get together, collaborate, and put a calendar together soon.
Yeah, get at us. And we've kind of danced around, well, not necessarily danced around this question, but we've circled back around to it a few times. And as Paul mentioned, a lot of events, they just announced the full Maha Festival, which we'll be getting into a little bit, bringing back the full 2-day festival after they've kind of pulled things back. So my question is to y'all, and you know, maybe answer this throughout the show. In your sense, do you feel like we're officially over the pandemic? That's something that we've been talking about, and you know, not quite sure what that threshold would look like. But with, as Paul mentioned, so many events being announced for the spring and upcoming summer, do you get the sense that the pandemic is necessarily over? Are we past that point?
It's a good question. This reminded me of last year's Maha.
Right.
Because we were kind of in the pandemic asking the same question, and it sold out and people showed up. We actually went as well, and we just decided we were going to stay way back. So we're not up in the middle of by the stage.
Yeah. And again, they last year they kind of rolled it back to like a 1 day, you know, kind of half a day type of event, but usually it's a full 2 days of activities. So bringing that back, it's maybe a sign that things are back to quote unquote normal. But again, yeah, like to see what you think.
Christy Ignore gives us a no with some whole bunch of exclamation points.
Okay. What's going on in your world, Paul? What's up, man?
Nothing much, man. We got Pat Hazel, which is an Omaha comic from back in the day that left and went and did some things. Tonight Show, all kinds of writing and all that good stuff. He's coming back tonight at Benson Theater, so we're gonna have some comedy on stage tonight and tomorrow. Pat Hazel is doing his Pair of Jokers deal, so yeah, man, filling seats in the theater these days, man. So we're looking forward to it. Lots coming up in the theater. I know you guys been seeing me post all over the place what's going on because it's about that time where things are going to start getting fired up over there. We have a good COVID policy over there and really kind of put some things in place for people to be able to come out. So that's my world right now, man. Just really kind of promoting what's happening at the theater. There's some big changes coming with all kinds of stuff, personnel, new shows happening, all kinds of things. And I will say, First Sky Omaha and House of Afro Capes and Curls have gotten together to do an event. I'm gonna just leave it. I'm gonna just tease you with it. I'm not even gonna tell you what it is. It's going down though. So there's a lot of stuff that's getting ready to happen at this theater, and it's firing up tonight. So that's my world right now.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. Make sure y'all definitely go check out and support the film at the Benson Theater. Again, hitting the ground running, man. Not even a full year of operation and already making some things happen and have already a couple shows under y'all belts.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep it going. Keep it
Making
going.
it happen.
Yeah, man.
Real quick in the chat, Leah Keister says, I'm still down to help you with the calendar. Appreciate that. I will definitely hit you up. I've been checking out your podcast too, man. We have to do some collaboration here. I can see.
Yeah, Swing Left Nebraska.
I think they had Tony Vargas on very recently. So yeah, and we're talking about having him on as well here. Also, TD Sanders, I just got in touch with her. She's gonna be on Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. Miss Erica Phil says, nope, we're at a low wave. So she's still saying we're still in the middle of the pandemic here. Christy Norris says, there's another wave coming. We are not done with this.
Okay.
I did hear about some variations on the Omicron.
Yeah.
What was it? MB2 or something? I can't remember what it was.
Some numbers and letters. And
yeah. Yeah, but Brother Muhammad said it's not over. I hear you.
And Pops also says, no, not even close. He says, I know in my little country, or excuse me, my little county, there are still hundreds of new cases each day and several deaths.
Oh man,
every
Pops,
day too.
I mean, Vegas, it ain't gonna be over in Vegas for a minute, I don't think. Mr. Knight says, branch manager at Main Branch Library told us COVID was over as she was coughing and hacking all over the place on my last day there.
I bet she's like, yeah, this glad my last day.
Yeah, it's done. Excuse me. That's the weed. That's not the COVID. That's not the COVID.
Oh, okay.
Kira Snipe says, yay, Tony. Leah Keister says, squeal, thank you so much. Hey, well, hey, you support us, we support you for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Kimber Snipe says, my dude, yeah, man, we got to have Tony Vargas on, man, real soon. Cool. As a matter of fact, I did see something. I was looking for it before we started the show, but Noise put up, I think, a flyer for a meeting of everybody who's running on school board. Maybe Brother Muhammad can tell me more about this. I think you were on that flyer. I don't know if they've talked to you. Brother Muhammad says they talk about chemical war in Europe. It's working well with the smoke and mirrors here in the USA. Okay. Yeah. They definitely are using, I believe they're definitely using the pandemic sometimes they use it to manipulate things. I think they jump on the bandwagon and try losing equipment here. Try to manipulate things. Brianna Full says COVID is not over. I'm glad to hear y'all real careful.
Yeah,
everybody's real diligent here. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm hearing a bunch of no.
Miss Erica Phil says a 2-year-old child here that I sent home Monday thinking he may have asthma was diagnosed Wednesday with viral pneumonia, likely from undiagnosed COVID. Dang,
man. That's also rough. Flu numbers are up as well, so that could be a part of it. I mean, you could mess around and catch flu, and then your immune system is compromised, and you turn around and catch COVID, or the other way around. So, yeah, definitely be careful out there. And I would kind of agree so far with everyone who has answered. There are still variants. There are still, I don't think it's just going to go away. To Pop's point, I think there's, forever going to be the numbers of death. I mean, we still got people dying from flu and cold every year. So I think we should expect to see numbers and deaths every year. I think that's just what it's going to be.
For sure. Yeah, let's get the show started. Chat's going off this morning. Appreciate it. We'll come back to that. But let people know what we're going to talk about a little bit today, if you don't mind.
Because COVID ain't it. We have several things to discuss today. We'll definitely be talking about this marijuana bill. Kind of Paul jokingly mentioned the weed earlier. Stay off the weed, as my man Stephen A.
Smoking
Smith likes to say. So we'll definitely talk about this. Again, we're still in a state where the governor feels like marijuana will kill the kids. So. Yeah, that's still a thing. We'll definitely talk about that and where the fight for medical marijuana is in the state of Nebraska, as it looks like Paul's prophecy might be coming true as far as Nebraska being the last state to do anything with it.
Medical marijuana got a blow recently.
Man, and why do we think that Nebraska is so reluctant to legalize marijuana? Because they want to fill their new prisons, which is definitely also something that we'll be talking about. Again, we never really got to get into the Preston Love Jr. conversation about law enforcement, specifically in North Omaha. So we'll try to dive into that. And then also Governor Ricketts comments on soft on crime, parole, and sentencing reforms, talking about filling their new prisons. Again, even into late last night, there is still rounds of debate on some prison reforms and how to address the state's still emergency overcrowding, or the state's still overcrowding emergency that has not been addressed. So we'll talk about some of those things, and also a new program in Omaha that's actually one of a kind that might be helping along that front. Talking about the Restorative Justice program, something that's a little different and unique. So we'll be talking about that and more throughout the show. Of course, if there's anything on your hearts, your minds that you feel like you would like to discuss here on this Friday, feel free to drop that into the chat. Ask us about it. If we know a little about it, we'll let you know. And if not, we'll look into it. Again, this is a conversation. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich, under the weather, but all of you are here with us. We thank you. Let's go.
Hey. What up? What up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning again. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich under the weather today. Not here with us, but here with us in spirit. So get well soon, bro. Kimmer Snipes in the chat says, I'm knocking doors with him this weekend, talking about Tony Vargas. That's what's up.
Hey.
Brianna Fool says, School Board Forum at the Culture House, April 6th, April 16th, 1 to 3 p.m. That's what I was looking at.
Okay.
So that's what's up. Yeah, we'll be talking about that before it comes as well. Good deal to do there, to have everybody who's running for school board to come and meet the peoples.
Yeah, man.
Josh Takis is a good morning and happy Friday. Appreciate you. Kimmer Snipe says government and people use a lot of different events to manipulate people. COVID isn't the first, but you're absolutely right, Paul. Yeah, that's what I think, man. I really believe that they'll take something, jump on it, and figure out how to manipulate the people with it for real.
There's no figuring out. They already know. Fear mongering. If you
that's the start,
man. If you can spin fear from it, yeah, it all kind of snowballs from there.
For real. Let's see. Mr. Eric says, of course, as soon as he coughed, I put a KN94 mask on him, and thankfully nobody else had symptoms. They said the only COVID symptom he had was an occasional cough.
Okay.
Talking about the young man that was at the school there.
Yeah.
Stacey Jean gives us a good morning. First Guy Omaha family and friends. Thank God it's Friday. Brother Muhammad says you cannot be employed with THC positive test results. Yeah, they make everything against the law. Kimmer Snipes says, bless his heart, Ricketts. Y'all know what we mean when we say bless your heart. Bless your heart, Ricketts.
Po Lil Ting Ting.
Yeah, it's funny. Soft on any kind of reform is being soft on crime. We'll be talking about it. Got a good morning from Wanda Lewis. Good morning, Miss Lewis. I'm glad I got to hang out with you the other day. That was a good thing that we did there.
Nice.
Tom Pinson said, Herb and Arts, good morning.
Okay.
I like it. Cameron Snipes says about 40% of polling places have been changed. We need to make sure people know before the primary.
Yes.
Definitely on the agenda there for sure. Brother Muhammad says, Paul B4, I've not seen the post nor received an email as of this message. Okay. So yes, not posted by Noise. Brianna is correct. That's why, because it's Culture House, not Noise thing. Noise does a lot of stuff out of Culture House, so I made that mistake. But that's a good, yeah, we'll be talking about that when we get a little closer to the date. In the meantime, like I said, thanks very much for everybody who's tuned in and already chiming in the chat. You guys are chiming this morning.
Man.
Yeah, that's what's up. So thanks everybody chiming in the chat this early, 7:20 right now, if you're keeping track of time and believe in the concept. and we finally getting the show started. So thanks for
Yeah.
everybody that's joining us, and let's get on the move.
Finally getting it started. But yes, I definitely appreciate everyone chiming into the chat, especially Sister Kimra Snipes, man. She's kind of on the same wavelength with me right now. We definitely would like to talk about the polling places
Yeah.
being changed. Not really seeing many news articles about that, so we'll look into that more as we get closer to the primary. Because again, last season was all about the ballot in the bullet, and this season is about spaces to play. So we're trying to get the right people in the spaces and places to make some things happen, to get some real change. Because we have, as I mentioned, and as Cameron mentioned, as far as people controlling the masses in government, and people use a lot of different events to manipulate the people. And Governor Ricketts has definitely used the push for medical marijuana to manipulate the people. Again, the fear mongering is definitely something that we see a lot, and that's exactly what let's just be honest, what Governor Ricketts intended when he made the off the cuff, just off the wall statement that marijuana will kill the kids.
You buy marijuana, you be killing your kids.
Man, not
I'll never forget that.
not to mention or not to touch the young people who die from alcohol related accidents all the time.
Or all the guns that he likes to.
Or all the opioids. You're not going to talk about that, but marijuana kills the kids, and this is
I almost had to move out of Omaha over that one. Boys in California, like, what did your governor say? Yeah, man. Oh, man.
and that's the type of mentality that just might stop a lot of families and youth who are actually suffering from seizures from getting the help that they need. A string of tragic events has left a citizen-led campaign to legalize medical marijuana in Nebraska in search of donations. This being reported by the Omaha World Herald. Nebraskans for Medical Marijuana lost 2 individuals who are expected to make a major contribution to the current legalization campaign. One of those donors who contributed to the group's 2020 campaign that nearly made it onto the ballot died in a plane crash, said Senator Ann Wishart of Lincoln, who's a co-sponsor of the campaign. Also a second person who was expected to make a contribution was diagnosed with terminal cancer. So life-changing and in one instance, life-ending events rocking the financial aspect of this movement. The campaign in an email to supporters Wednesday described the loss as a huge setback. But despite the tragedies, Senator Wishart will still confident that the group could meet its $500,000 fundraising goal by May 1st. She declined to say how much the campaign has raised so far, but as of February 28th, the campaign had a cash balance that was less than $30,000. So as of February 28th, quite a ways away from its goal. And also in 2020, the campaign did raise $2.5 million overall, securing more than 182,000 signatures. But despite passing that requirement, it was disqualified by the state Supreme Court for containing more than one subject. Basically, there's a technicality on the language of the bill itself. So again, 182,000 signatures. This is something that many voters on either side of the aisle across the state have supported. The economics, as far as just the boost that medical marijuana gives to states, has been displayed. I mean, the data is already out there as far as the benefits to the states from legalizing something like marijuana, and not to mention the impact it would have on incarceration rates. But yet, here we are.
Yeah, interesting stuff. When I was reading, I was thinking about that because I don't know if people understood how much money you got to come up with in order to even get that show on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're very far behind because of losing these 2 major donors. Figure that we let people know if they wanted to back that and help that situation move forward without on a grassroots level. We'll see. So yeah, just passing on a little news there. Quite the blow. Earlier in the chat, we got a good morning from Precious McKesson. What's happening, Precious? Good morning. Good morning. She says, good morning, First Sky family. Appreciate that. Also, we will jump into a little later, but Brother Muhammad says, guilty. Fortenberry's 3 felonies. Yeah. Guilty. He guilty. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Kimmer Snipe says, we're working with our members to communicate it, but always need help. Talking about all the places, all the new places that the they're shifting poll places around all over the place. Also, Christy Norris said something earlier that was very interesting. Drug tests are only done for lower level positions. I looked at a federal job working for Medicare, and no drug test was required. Very interesting indeed, if you ask me. Precious says, replying to Christy says, might ask you to take a test, but will ask you if you have smoked marijuana, and folks have lost their job for lying. So it's quite the thing there. Yeah. Also, let's see. Ms. Snipes says also we got to talk about collaboration with the Nebraska Civic Engagement Table. Yeah, good
Yes.
idea. We'll definitely do that. Also, Precious says might not ask you. She says might not ask you to take a test, but in your background check, they will ask folks have been denied employment for answering honestly. Wow. So they say they'll ask you, did you used to smoke weed? You say, well, I used to, and then missed
Nope.
out on the opportunity. Yep.
Mm.
Brother Muhammad says chemical poisoning. Is that
Mm.
is that how you feel about the tweeds? Let us know about that. Precious also says I asked when I went through my security clearance and background check. Interesting thing you got to be asking for. Just not because some companies are going to follow what the federal has to say. Some are more lenient with the state. I've worked at companies even recently that is not going to require a drug test. They're like, that's your business. So it really is whether or not they are trying to comply with or what their political leanings are, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Kimber Snipes also said polling places shift and happening in rural counties too. We'll definitely talk about these polling places, these polling shifts. Grand Island has issues as well. Interesting.
Yeah, we got to look into that, especially as we get closer to the primary coming up within the next couple of months. But all of this is, all of this is relevant, and all this is wrapped up in it as far as where the polling places are, what's on the ballot, what we're voting for. Because again, pay attention to the laws, pay attention to how they're written. Just as with this medical marijuana bill, just when you think it's looking like a bill might come to fruition, it's always something, it seems like. So let's stay on top of it, y'all. As you can see, there's languages and there's legalese that's always a trouble, and now they're moving polling places, and just everything is coming at us to stop us from voting and being able to make the changes that we want to make. So let's stay diligent.
Very true. Brother Muhammad says I was responding to the cancer case. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, Miss Erica Felt has interesting thing. I didn't think about insurance companies at all. She says I had a difficult time getting life insurance because at some point I must have told the doctor I did at some point in life, but can't remember when I said that. My application kept getting bounced back. I got it now though. So you even tell somebody that you smoked back in the day messes with your life insurance. On top of that, if you've told somebody at some point, yeah. So yeah, it is, man. It goes further. It goes, when we think about marijuana, or we think about medical marijuana, we think about people that need medical for medical reasons. We think about certain states that make recreational legal in certain states, and we're always thinking about that. The kind of drug side of it, the kind of feeling of enhancement from the drug side of it. But there's a lot to talk about when it comes to employment, insurance, all these other places that you can get the door shut on you if you smoke or if you used to smoke or any of that. So yeah, that's a trip.
Oh yeah. But I also would like to say on the other side of it, and we kind of talked about it on Wednesday, is just how these, again, talking about the laws and how the laws surrounding drug use are created, and how just kind of politicians rather than treating drug users, punish them. And I think this is kind of going along with that same mentality.
I mean, we talked about how Nebraska does things, and I've been saying for a while now they rather build jails than legalize medical marijuana. So, I think they're gonna keep on doing that. I think we will be like the last state that even comes close to that, and I really believe that because of this whole idea of parentalism and punishment and all these weird Republican things that's going on that that wants to punish people and put them in jail. It's all about punishment. It's not about rehabilitation. It's not about safety. It's not about anything. It's about punishing people for not living the way that they want you to live. And that stuff that Pete Ricketts was just talking about, being soft on crime
Yep.
for any kind of prison reform is part of that.
That's exactly where
you
I'm
want
going.
to talk about prison reform? Is going to see you soft on crime for that? You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly where I'm going. And for again, we're not just talking about prison reform just because like don't take it for granted, or it's not. Don't take it lightly. The fact that the state of Nebraska is in a emergency overcrowding, is in an overcrowding emergency. It is overcrowded.
We're almost in the third year of that.
Yes, it is dangerously overcrowded, and not only is it overcrowded, but it's understaffed at the same time. So again, for Governor Ricketts to talk about any reform to achieve the goal of letting some of these less violent offenders out, and he comes with a soft on crime stance. I mean, again, what are these conservatives trying to conserve? And if you're not familiar with the soft on crime statement that we're talking about, this came from a Monday meeting on which Governor Ricketts said the legislature should move ahead with criminal justice reforms that were fully agreed on by a study, while at the same time rejecting Senator Steve Lathrop's support for what Ricketts called a soft on crime package of proposed parole and sentencing for reforms that had divided the committee. Lathrop, chairman of the Judiciary Committee, urged the legislature to embrace the reform package that emerged from a study by the Crime and Justice Institute. During the debate, Lathrop said, if increasing penalties had been a solution, we wouldn't be building a new prison. Lathrop also urged the legislature to support investments in programming with modest changes in sentencing and earlier parole eligibility. And also Lathrop co-chaired the study group that produced the reform ideas. The group's final report included 17 policy ideas that all its members agreed upon, and 4 they didn't. Lathrop's bill includes all of the legislative ideas, regardless of consensus, that fall under the jurisdiction of the Judiciary Committee. So there are ideas, there are plans beyond just building a new prison that the state has in order to address this issue in a real way. And yet again, here's Governor Ricketts speaking against it. And not only is he speaking against it, but doubling down. Ricketts doubled down on his decision not to seek the $120 million in federal assistance that's available to stay under a program launched in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic, and also urging for a $600 million lake rather than $450 million to be invested in North Omaha, which would also go towards stemming off some of the violence and the crimes that's leading to these prisons being filled. So
we've heard before, and I'm sure that Ricketts and everybody has heard them talk about reform, saying that, well, we heard Brother McKinney, put some respect on his name, stand there and tell them in the legislature, if you can't expect, if we don't add reform to this prison situation, we're just going to be building more prisons. And I really think that Ricketts and them are back in their minds going, yeah, that's what we want to do.
That's the point. Yeah,
that's
the point.
We can use a few more prisons. We want that because that's just we pay attention to what he chimes up about. And it's interesting that this soft on crime narrative about anything that has to do with any kind of reform, you're being soft on crime, which means he wants to be Pistol Pete hard on crime. And it's no and this is the same person that, remember, this is the same person as you using his own personal money to buy lethal drugs to puts people to death. I mean, it's obvious where he's coming from on that. Got to battle him. Jumping into the chat real quick, Leah Keister earlier says, I talked a ton about the new polling places in the episode I dropped last week with Alicia Shelton on the Swing Left Nebraska podcast. We'll go back and reference that.
Okay.
Appreciate that. Also, you're driving, keep your hands on the wheels, drive safe. Appreciate you listening to us while you're driving, but please drive safe. Miss Erica Fell says, making money off of people. This is what jails do. This is what fines and all these things do.
The prisons are plantations. They're literal plantations. That's what they are. Again, it was just taken off the state constitution that you are a slave if you are convicted of a crime. Like that was just like 2 years ago. So inmates were slaves until 2 years ago by the law. Legally, slaves.
They still are, even though the laws changed. So the behavior has not.
Yeah.
We got a good morning from Black Dynamite. What's happening, man? Good morning, peace, fellas, from Brother Kasim. What's happening, bro?
Peace. Walaikum salam.
Melvin Muhammad says Nebraska allows hemp to be grown and harvested, yet they outlaw hemp in the form of medical utilizations. What the heck? Stephen Abraham says, "Grand risings, everyone. Good morning to you too."
Yes. Top of the morning.
Man, I tell you, this is it's obvious from the chat chimers that we're all on the same page when it comes to this one. It seems that they're going to find and keep as many laws on the books and make more in order to fill these jails up.
Oh yeah.
And it just so happens that they're playing by the same playbook that Nixon started with war on black folks,
Oh, yeah.
war on people of color.
You asked about what was the script that Ricketts always seems to be reading from, and I think we know the script. I think we know the script.
Miss Stacey Jean said, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Well, who's making money on new prisons being built? Evidently, it provides more money than legalizing marijuana.
There you go.
That's what
Follow the money, and that was actually exactly what I was about to say. Not only who's building the prisons, but what about who are they contracting with? What are some of these contractors? How much money is flowing in and out of these contractors' hands? And what is that industry really looking like for Nebraska? Who's servicing, who's providing the shoes and the soap and the phones and the food for these inmates? Where's that money coming from?
Yeah.
Where's it going?
Mr. Eric says, I'm betting any money that the new prison will be producing a product to sell. It started with Coca-Cola jeans back in the day. I've never heard of that. And maybe she didn't put a comma in there. Back in the day, and it continues with various products today that and exploiting labor, like in Nevada, where they must fight wildfires for $9.50 a day.
Yep.
California too. California $2.25 a day is how much they pay you to go battle the wildfires of California.
And they're the first ones.
And then on top of all that, after they get out of jail, if they have a felony, they're not allowed to be hired as firemen.
Right. And those inmates are usually the first ones sent into the fire.
Exactly. And they're working the hardest. They're it's the whole thing. It's messed up.
Yeah, man. That's a whole nother side to it as far as the forced labor. It's the prison system is disgusting, man. I'll just leave it there. And here we have Governor Ricketts talking about being tough on crime.
Well, like Preston McKesson says, wouldn't be surprised if the Ricketts company has construction company that will bid for the job.
That's what I'm thinking. Either that or has some kind of company that's going to provide the chairs and the tables and I mean, you got to think about all the stuff that goes into prisons. Where does that come from? Who are they buying that from?
Bro, just the phone company, just the phone plan is a whole industry.
Yep.
You being able to use the phone and call your fam, and they charge you so much to do that. It's a whole thing. And they also don't there's nothing discounted in there either, and they upsell stuff. So all your food and everything that you buy in the commissary, everything is upsold on top of it. Mr. Eric says no, there were jeans with Coca-Cola logos. They were made in California prisons. I had a family member who was in Nevada sent to fight Oregon wildfires or threaten removing good time. Man, that's insane. Brother Kasim says institutions and or collectives driven towards changing our thinking is key. Our circumstances lead us into hell. It will continue to lead us into hell until we choose to study our way out of it, not through our words, but through our actions.
Man, Islam. Peace.
On that note, it is already 7:40, man. We're moving right along through this whole thing. We'll take a quick break, come back. Precious says Cricket Ricketts will have his hand in the money pot. You ain't lying. Stay tuned. Anybody knows Cricket Ricketts, tell them we want him on the show. We got some questions and concerns.
Come holla at us. Come holla.
Holla. We'll be right back. First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Stay tuned, y'all. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd. Star Trek Rich is down today, not feeling well.
Yeah.
So he stayed home, slept in. So shout out to Star Trek Rich. Get well soon.
Man.
Appreciate you. All the chat chimers in the chat right now, man. Everybody's going off. It's a really good scene today here. Everybody's happy that it's Friday and it's real chimey in the chat.
Man. Real chatty, real chimey.
Real chatty, real chimey. We love it. Just jumping back in real quick. Beth Davis Wilson in the house says Papa Ricketts owns land where they're thinking about the lake at the west side of Omaha along the Platte. They have fingers in everything.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Stephen Abraham says medical low grade marijuana is being sold currently as CBD. The fight is that they feel it's no need to make medical high grade marijuana legalized because CBD helps individuals in a similar way. Okay, that's interesting detail on that one.
Yeah. I mean, but you got the Delta 8 as well. It's like, come on.
I mean, regular weed is Delta 9, right?
It's like a molecule away.
And there's a whole lot of spots. I don't know if you guys know, but there's so many spots popping up that selling that stuff is crazy.
Yeah.
There's chains of stores that are already blowing up over that stuff. So it's almost, and people that smoke it say that it's pretty close. So, I remember last year we were talking about this. Ricketts was like, we're going to launch an investigation into Delta 8, and it's been a slow going situation.
Oh yeah, real slow.
Yeah. That's what's up. Beth Davis says, and good morning all. Good morning to you too. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Josh Tate says, I wish Ricketts would come on the show.
Man,
he's been on the show before when we were at Mind and Soul. When we did the radio over Mind and Soul, he came on. But this is a different kind of show now. We got a whole bunch of chat chimers, and the seat is a lot hotter than it used to be.
Boiling, sizzling.
And we'll reach out to him. We just haven't. We'll reach out to him. So we'll see what's up. Precious McKesson says, she's talking to Beth Davis Wilson, says, that makes me so angry knowing that they're blocking North and South Omaha from getting funding.
600 million on a lake.
On a lake, bro. A lake that they think if we make this beautiful lake and make like lakeside homes, people will move here from other states. we can keep our students in town.
Man, talk about a field of dreams.
Miss Erica Fell says CBD is different than cannabis. Brother Muhammad says THC, no matter how you use it. Miss Erica Fell says it's a component of cannabis. I mean, we get an education in here on all of it.
Breaking it down.
Right.
Black Dynamite.
He don't want the smoke.
He don't want the smoke. He don't want the smoke.
Yeah, it's a different show now, bro. Come on, let's talk.
Richard Green says because he's smoking.
Yeah, man. Interesting stuff. Let's start. I actually want to hit the chat chimers up and say, let's start making a little list of some things that we're gonna ask Ricketts. First thing out of my first question is, really, Ricketts? Buying marijuana is gonna kill your kids?
Hey, that's why he was trying to stop us from getting into those press conferences and getting the proper credentials. We might just need to send a chat chimer on a mission.
Shout out to Noise, man.
Man, we might need to holler at Noise, man, and pass some questions along.
Shout out to Noise and Emily Chin Newton for pushing them to the limit and making it so that they can get their press credentials and come in and ask all the questions they want to ask of Ricketts, because they sure were keeping us all out. So that was a progression that Noise and Emily Chin Newton in particular made. She put the pressure on him, and it went nationwide. And he had to come back and be like, well, I guess we'll figure out the criteria for getting you guys press passes. But literally was locking people out of the room so they couldn't answer the hard questions.
Literally.
Ridiculous. Chrissy Norris says, my wife used Mary Jane for her cancer. Sometimes it was the only thing to take the edge off her pain, especially when pharma drugs didn't really help. I grew up in California. I know a whole lot of cats that had cancer that were taking the marijuana pill and all that, even back in the 90s. So, yeah, I mean, it's been proven all over the place that it works. It helps. Precious McKesson says it's evidence these Republicans are scared of us being in the room with them, holding them accountable.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
ducking and dodging.
Yeah. Miss Erica Feld has given us some more backstory here on the CBD is a component of cannabis. THC is the other major component, which is mental health benefits, euphoric, etc., that CBD doesn't have. Yeah, we're learning more and more about it. Like I said, there's so many stores that are popping up just in Benson alone. There's about to be like there's already 2 stores that you can buy like the Delta 8 and CBD bath bombs and all kinds of stuff. They're opening a third where Dripped and Drapes used to be, unfortunately. And then I heard there was going to be an emporium, a super emporium, a supermarket of cannabis and CBD items that's also being built. There'll be 4 or 5 places just in Benson alone that is selling this stuff. None of them owned by anybody of color.
Nope.
We'll say that. But interesting how what's the law? How's the law work here? You're in Nebraska doing this. How's the law work?
Exactly.
I got a friend that had a CBD joint on 24th and Lake that didn't last a year.
Wonder why.
Question.
And also, how many offenders locked up right now are low level marijuana offenders?
I hear you.
That's doing the same thing they doing.
There you go. 7:46 right now. If you got to be somewhere by 8 o'clock, just letting you know you got about 15 minutes. This episode has got me feeling like Precious McKesson right here. She said, every day I ask my ancestors to cover me with peace, because the way I'd be ready to walk up to the hill and slap some folks.
you got to hit him with that Ketanji Brown Jackson side.
Senator. Shout out to Cory Booker, by the way. We got to talk about Cory Booker and his attitude. He brought her to tears, talking about he's not going to let none of these senators take his joy. Shout out to Cory Booker for speaking up in them sessions, man, and giving her some back on that. That was very inspiring to hear and see. And yeah, Book is the dude. So
yeah, man.
Love it.
On that note, man, let's keep it moving. Chat is going off. Just keep chiming into the chat. Y'all gonna have us here all day in this chat, but we love it. That's what we're here for, and definitely love to hear your comments and your thoughts on this next topic. Just kind of continuing the conversation because we can go all day about Ricketts and the foolishness that comes out of his mouth. But what's happening right here in our community of Omaha? Again, the state level is the state level, but what's happening in the city, and I would definitely love to hear from those of you who are in attendance at this latest meeting, talking about the press conference of Chief Todd Schmader, also Wayne Hudson, who is the Douglas County Sheriff, and then also fam of the show, Brother Preston Love Jr.
Put some respect on his name.
Definitely put some respect on his name. Again, Brother Preston Love Jr. had a recent sit down with Chief Todd Schmader and Sheriff Hudson on law enforcement, specifically in North Omaha. And again, I would love to hear from those of you who are in attendance because this is an ongoing conversation. It was hosted at the Fabric Lab in North Omaha. So big shout out to the Fabric Lab and everyone there. But again, going into, for me, what Chief Todd Schmader had to say, I'm kind of going more and more interested in his viewpoints on some of these things. But the plan and the focus on the argument or the conversation against policing, with a strong emphasis on no-knock warrants. Law enforcement leaders explain how they work and when they use no-knock warrants. In connection to the incident that happened in Minnesota, where the young man lost his life as a result of a no-knock warrant. Chief Todd Schmader says, you never know what somebody's concerns are exactly. You surmise and you do community relation work to see what everybody's concerns are. This is your chance to hear them firsthand. Also, Chief Douglas County Chief Deputy Wayne Hudson answered a few questions about things like recruiting minority officers and policy. He says just giving the community more information on why we do certain things that we do so that we can better relate to each other, because there's definitely a disconnect on policy and how police operate. But also Schmaderer later on in our not argument but conversation says, I also take away that there's impatience when there's a problem. People want it addressed and they want it addressed quickly, and so the key is to recognize that and get all the entities at play and to try to get some resolution that's got some time to it, some speed to it. And again, in regards to Chief Tosh Schmaderer, just seeming like he's kind of getting it. Again, I refer to his statement on LB 1024 and his support of MB 1024 and exactly how that will impact policing in North Omaha specifically. And he also acknowledged the fact that more jobs and a true investment in North Omaha will go a lot further. And he would prefer 1,000 jobs in North Omaha over 1,000 officers, which is something that I like to hear.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I agree with you. More and more, I'm interested in what he has to say. Don't really know too much about um, his stance on a lot of stuff, but ever since that's the Zachary Beer situation where he fired the cops that murdered Zachary, brother Beer Hills, put some respect on his name. He fired them, and then he had to battle the police union when they basically forced him to rehire these officers.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still a police officer, so there's I gotta see. I want to see some actions more than hear what he has to say all the time, but it is kind of out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. So maybe
Right.
he gets it. He does understand, and maybe that trickles down to a lot of the things that he does on a day-to-day basis to try to help some situations out. So yeah, interesting that he's saying that. For those who don't remember what that bill is, we say LB
1024.
1024. That's that 450 million that we're trying to get for North Omaha. So the fact that the police chief is behind that, saying that it'll make his job easier, saying that he would rather see money go to the area so that poverty and things can get eradicated, and that would help with law enforcement. I mean, just kind of does show a little bit where he stands, that he kind of, at least he understands a little bit about where the problem is stemming from. And it's not just a matter of him going out saying these are just bad people and we're going to club them over the head like a lot of chiefs do.
Mm-hmm.
So there it is there.
A few people in the a few people in the chat were saying they're in attendance.
Oh yeah, Brianna. We heard from Brianna Full. She, as a matter of fact, I posted on Friends of First Sky Omaha her whole spiel. She gave a little bit of a review of what was going on there. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And also thank you for that. The article that I was just reading out of for this story was, I believe, Channel 7. But as Brianna says, Noise just posted an article about this meeting that is very accurate depiction of what happened. Other news platforms watered it down. So I will say the article I just read, as I'm looking at this Noise article, is definitely watered down in comparison. So big shout out again, as always, to our partners at Noise for getting it right, man.
Yeah.
They kind of really broke it down as far as what was discussed, not just no knock warrants, but also law enforcement progress on reducing shootings was discussed. Also the need for minority representation, and also the polling place changes was touched on in this as well. Well, that's interesting.
Shelton Shar in the chat says, I was in attendance. They specifically spoke about no knock warrants and how they don't use the processes as often here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we haven't come across a whole lot of stories where that type of thing has happened. What happened to Amir Locke? So this might be true. That's interesting kind of thought on that one. Stephen, let's see. Stephen Abraham in the chat says no one is talking about the catch-22 in regards to why we lost polling places in our district. During the redistricting, it was based off population growth, and the maps are created on a few things, including economic development. With keeping our District 2 map the same, it did two things: avoided the removal of historical land from our district, but also made us lose polling places. Interesting. Yeah, very much so. Precious McKesson says, check out the NDP Black Caucus page. We had the pleasure last night of having candidates Dave Pontos, Greg Gonzalez, and Wayne Hudson on talking about their campaigns and answering questions about their candidacy for County Attorney and Douglas County Sheriff. Yeah, cool. We'll definitely check out what the NDP Black Caucus is doing as well. I have been looking at that page lately, so thanks for the reminder on that. Shelton Shar says Deputy Chief Sheriff Wayne advised that it is harder and hire minority officers. It is harder hire minority officers due to the laws and policies, and that he wants to implement a law to change the hiring process to allow more qualified candidates to be considered. Teshwanta Strawn is still the only black woman sheriff, and they've just hired another one. Only 2 black women in the sheriff's office. Wow. Yeah, sheriff's office definitely can use some help, some help there. We know that, but and I also am an advocate for like the police living in the neighborhoods that they're policing as well, like that. I think that's a very important thing that needs to happen. So maybe
regardless of, I'm just saying, regardless of race.
Yeah. Just live in the area. The race part don't even matter all the way. Yeah. Leah Keister's asking, what was the page called? Which page are you talking about? I
think she's talking about the NDP Black Caucus page.
Yep. Yeah, we'll definitely check those things out. Lots of that kind of stuff going on. Lots of people doing podcasts. There's a whole movement right now of us trying to get to know some of these politicians and ask some questions because we are in that season. We got to remind people it is the voting season, and we got to go ahead and put some dates up and things that very important dates that are coming up and very important races that are happening too. So it's a good time to have people on and talk about these things. I've been talking to a few people. Dave Pontos wants to come back on for sure. There is a Republican governor's race debate coming up that is going to be just look like 4 or 5 white men standing up there. So we'll see. We'll see there. That reminds me. Let's reach out to Senator Carol Blood, put some respect on her name, have her back on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, lots to do there for sure. Coming up on the 8:00 hour. Thanks for everybody that is tuned in. I just happened to run across Precious McKesson's page. She has shared our page on her. She has shared the show on her page. It's running on her page right now too. It just reminded me to let you know, if you're on Facebook, please share the show on your page so that we can get as many people looking and talking and chiming into the chat as possible. Might help out that situation and grow the channel as well. We're also on YouTube. So thank you for tuning in on YouTube. If that's what you're doing, like and subscribe over there. If you're sick of Facebook, move on over to YouTube because we're doing the same thing there as well. So appreciate that. Like I said, we're about 2 minutes before the top of the hour. A whole nother hour coming in of First Sky Omaha in the morning. We got a extensive HAPS happening. So get your HAPS ready as well. And all that good stuff. Loving what's happening in the chat here. Loving that everybody's talking about what they're talking about. Precious is saying, Miss Erica felt the score on testing. They can only take the top 4 or 5 scores. If they change the law extending the threshold, they can review more of the applications. So talking about law enforcement applications that we're on right now.
Yeah. The laws and policies concerning how they hire and who they hire. For law enforcement, whatever it is in the testing.
Chrissy Norris says that Republican debate is going to be a crap show. I'm gonna just say crap on the air.
Man, yeah.
New Nagi L says, "Good morning, family.
Hey.
Good morning to you.
Peace.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, it's 8:00. If you believe in the concept of time, and we're just in the middle of talking about what's happening here with these races and the things that are going on with meeting the candidates. We're talking a lot about the polls being moved, the reasons why the poll places were moved. Not only do you got to register, not only you got to ask for an early ballot, but you also have to go search and see where your new polling place is. I actually got a green card or some kind of card that came in the mail that told me where my new polling place is. So you might want to look in the mail for that.
Yeah.
Also, you can go ahead.
Just saying. Also, just just posted the link. That link you can go to look up your house number and zip code, and it'll give you your polling place information there on the website as well.
Yeah. Precious said they had one last night. I'm going to watch later. Talking about another debate.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Watch a little comedy this evening. I understand. Let's take a quick break. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd. Star Trek Rich is down today.
Yeah, man.
So well wishes to him to get better soon. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Yeah, man. Are you there, man?
Wagwan.
This one makes me want to go right near the beach. You hear about spring break?
No.
Spring break just happened in out there in Miami. They're shutting it down. Cats went out there wilding out, blasting on folks, guns out.
What?
They came out saying, "We don't. I don't know if you guys know this, but we don't want spring break. We would rather have a." It's like, well, spring break happens every year, and we endure it. I think the mayor was talking about, and we endure it. We don't want spring break, especially now that you can't even be safe enough to not get shot.
Dang.
Crazy.
Madness.
What's going on, man? I don't understand.
Josh take selector. Rewind.
Hey man, you've been watching. I don't know if you've seen the new Bel Air. You've been watching the new Fresh Prince.
Nah,
thing?
man. I've been hearing good things about it.
It's dope.
I haven't felt compelled though.
It's dope.
Like,
it's dope.
I'm saving time for Atlanta,
bro. I was real tempted to stay until 2:00 to watch the premiere, but I'd have been no good this morning.
Yeah. No.
Hey, welcome back. 802. Yeah, Mr. Ricketts, that's my show. I'm trying to tell you, and everybody I know in Atlanta is like, it's kind of just like the show.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, strange stuff going on. Can't wait. Welcome back, First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd. No Star Trek Rich today. All of you, the chat chimers, and you guys are real chimey in the chat. Chatting in the chimes this morning. So appreciate that. What's up?
Keep them coming.
Oh, side note, Black Dynamite. Did anybody watch Atlanta last night? That's what we were just talking about. I did. 2:00 in the morning, bro. I was real tempted though. I will say that.
No, I didn't check it out.
That'd be like 11:45. I was like, I might be able to do this.
Oh, Miss Erica Fellows. She said she's talking about the Fresh Prince, not Atlanta.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. She said, Black Dynamite says Bel Air is definitely dope, and Atlanta is going to be is going crazy already. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're in Europe. I'm expecting it.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. I've been telling people all the time, man. Donna Glover is a genius. That's what's up. Mama God said, unfortunately, a lot of times the troublemakers at these events are not even in school.
Yeah, talking about the spring break incidents.
Can you believe that mess? I just saw a meme the other day. It was like, how you 45 and on spring break? Go back to your wife and kids. Miss Erica says, I'll be binging this weekend. I heard that.
Yeah.
What's up? Speaking of this weekend, though, before we get any further into it, just want to remind people, Saturday is the day I'm going to be out there. And it's the march for Ernest Brown, man, I can't remember his last name.
Ernest Jackson.
Jackson, thank you. Send Ernest home. The benefit walk and fundraiser is happening Saturday, so get ready to gear up and come on out for that. We're definitely going to do that. The family reached out to First Sky Omaha and asked us specifically if we wanted to represent, so I'm definitely going to be out and be on the benefit walk. So definitely, this is weather permitting, which I think we're going to have a pretty good weekend as far as weather is concerned. So
Okay.
yeah, we'll definitely check it out. We'll talk more about this again in the HAPS, which we will have an extensive HAPS a little later on in the show.
Yeah, man.
Because we looked at Friends of First Sky Omaha, and I was like, "There's more HAPS than news going on right now on the Friends of page.
A lot of things are going. A lot of
Lots.
things are going.
Yeah, so that's what's up." Miss Erica Phil said, "Trying to bring back classic Freaknik."
Man, Miss Erica Phil kind of read my mind. I'm not gonna lie.
Y'all nasty.
I'm not gonna lie, man.
Y'all nasty.
I drive around Atlanta sometimes on these interstates. Like, is this where they shut it down? Is this where it was? Is this where they stopped? Is this where it was? I can't imagine being trapped. I actually had a few friends tell me like when they were younger, they got trapped in on the interstate during Freaknik. You know, just stuck. I mean, the way traffic is out here, man, I don't blame people. Like, you're already stuck in traffic just about every day out here. That's might as well get out and boogie, shake a little something. Real
get
quick.
out and have sex on the hood, I guess.
I ain't say all that.
Oh, we stuck in traffic anyway.
Oh, man, I ain't say all that.
Popsa says Buddy is on his in the mornings. That's right. You ain't missed one yet. That's what's
in
happening.
the morning.
Brianna Full says, send Ernest Jackson home. Walk tomorrow afternoon, 1 to 4 at the Black Family Health Fair, 8 to 12.
Okay.
Yep. Like I said, we'll talk about that again a little bit later on in the HAPS.
Miss Erica felt to answer your question, Orchard Park is where it starts.
Orchard Park. Okay. That's what's up. Rome's Review says free Nelson Mandela exhibit at the Durham Museum next weekend. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
That's
yeah.
what's up.
So save all that for your HAPS a little later on, man.
Buddy, guess what?
What's that?
I was hanging out with Mayor Sanchez the other day. Found out the cat does like cooking podcasts and like he's in the business. Got a studio doing some things.
Got a studio.
Yeah, man. He was telling me about some equipment and stuff he had. I was like, check this dude. Okay, so yeah, we learning more about the Chad Chimers for sure.
Yeah.
He's definitely we'll have to hang when you come out here. We'll have to hang out with Mayor Sanchez and see what he got going on because he got some things. He quiet about it, but he got some stuff.
Late April, y'all. Late April, I will be in Omaha. Late April, so yeah, you down to have a situation.
It's about time for us to start. If it's late April, then we need to plan a little kickback.
Yeah, a little something. I'm with it.
Mama God said, "Freaky Nick, what?" That's the Cali you call. Yeah, I was in Cali hearing about all the nasty stories about Freak Nick, so that's what I got out of it. But hey, like I said, I'm down for anything when Black people get together and they happy about it. I'm down for all that.
Yeah. The Black Joy.
I'm down for Black Joy,
man.
808. If you believe in the concept of time, let's jump into some other stories that.
Yeah. This is kind of getting off the rails, man. Let's keep it moving along.
Let's go. Start talking about Freak Nick. What you think is gonna do?
Yeah. Miss Erica Felton, I blame you. But anyway, man, let's keep it moving. I did want to dive into this restorative justice conversation. If that's all right with the people. Let y'all know about some. We talked about all the bad stuff in the new prisons that they're building, but this is actually something that seems to be helping the community. Yeah, this is a restorative justice program, which actually is being reported as one of a kind program, unlike anything in the country, which is apparently reducing jail populations and repairing the community at the same time. And that's all we ask for, y'all.
I mean, imagine that.
Right. That's all we ask for. Apparently, dozens of people who were arrested for minor violations during our protests in 2020 have been offered the alternative to jail time. And that is restorative justice. Apparently, this is kind of this is from Omaha Police Sergeant Jason Hept, who says why they were down at the protest, what led to the arrest from a law enforcement side, some of those expectations. It does give every single person that is attending an opportunity to be heard. Talking about this restorative justice program. Actual Gerald Kuhn, who helped launch the program, through the city's Human Rights and Relations Department, says it helps them learn how their actions cause them to be arrested. It creates the accountability, but it also gives that individual time to talk to the arresting officer or supporting officer when they're not in crisis. Kuhn said it also gives officers a chance to meet those they've arrested when that person is having a quote unquote better day. When you can come off the street for 4 hours and connect with the community, I definitely think it makes you a better police officer, and it helps you have a better understanding of the community and what you serve, and reconnects you back to the reason you put on the badge in the first place. So that's interesting. Those arrested for things like obstruction of justice, disorderly conduct, minor resisting arrest, or providing law enforcement with the false information may be eligible for the program. Complete the discourse, 12 hours of community service, and an exit interview, and the allegation is wiped off your record. Kuhn says that 85% of citizens are unaware of the laws on why they are arrested. He said word of mouth travels fast. He also said when you have people who can keep them out of jail but give them the knowledge to not do it again, that makes the city a safer place. So this article doesn't really explain exactly what the program is, but it sounds like again a program in which those who are arrested and the arresting officers can sit down, have a discussion, and again
that sounds like a setup.
Right. Go through this process of having the discussion, having the discourse, 12 hours of community service, and an exit interview.
But it gets wiped off your record. So
yeah. So again, it sounds good on the surface, but this is definitely something we're discussing more. What are your thoughts on this, Paul?
Well, my thoughts are we're gonna have to do what we do on this one and invite Brother Kuhn on so he can explain it to us a little bit better. Because
yeah, man,
we read these articles and read all in between the lines, which is the whole reason for us doing these kinds of shows. So, so there's a little bit of in there that's a little bit like okay, I need a little bit more clarification. And the fact that Brother Kuhn is the one behind it gives me some hope, gives me some faith. But I still need to hear some more for sure because I done something and now you didn't call me and I'm supposed to be sitting with the cop that arrested me and we supposed to be having some conversations and
yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Some of these offenses are kind of slap on the wristy.
And they specifically talked about the protesters.
Right. That's what I'm thinking about with the offenses.
And we also know that back in the day, they were rounding people up like they did on that bridge that time. It was taking on everybody's name and they were calling people out by name and all kinds of stuff. So it's almost like get to know the troublemakers type of thing. I don't look. Brother Kuhn put this. If he's behind it, I'm not going to talk about it till I hear more.
Give the benefit of doubt.
Give the benefit of doubt, brother, because he does some good work in the community. So. It just may be me, my California mentality of like, that sounds like a setup. I don't know if I trust that. I don't know if I want to go sit with the cop again later and have a, I mean, in theory, I could see a heart to heart happening with law enforcement, on when there's nothing going on. I like that idea of like, we're not in the crisis right now. You're not arresting me. So we can have a conversation.
Right. Adrenaline isn't high, things like that. But that's why I keep going back to the offenses. Like if it's like, petty crimes like small theft, somebody, stealing food, somebody stealing clothes, shoplifting, try to figure out what's going on in this person's life that's making them do these things. But the arrests that they're talking about, obstruction of justice, disorderly conduct, minor resisting arrest, just people most likely who are going to get slapped with these, again, protesters.
Right. Well, they're going to try to talk about a protesting next time or explain to them how it's so illegal for them or against the law or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Miss Erica Phelps says they're hoping to meet Snow singing Informer. I do the keep boom boom down.
Yeah, man.
But Shelton Shar in the chat says, thank you for your continued service, Gerald Mike Kuhn. Also sounds like a diversion program to me. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Brother Kuhn does good work. Continue to do good work. Must be maybe some more here that I would like to know about. We should have Brother Kuhn on Friend of the community, friend of the show, cool dude. So yeah, I'd love to hear more about this before I really say too much. But I'm just giving my first reaction to this particular article, which is
apprehension.
A little bit. What draws me in though is it can get knocked off your record if you go through the program though, because not many things could take things off your record.
Right. Which is cool, but also I did come across a Omaha Daily Record article about this program when it was just a pilot program. Apparently, it was announced back in 2018. Or no, excuse me, it was announced last year. Misread. It was announced last year. And the study that brought it was from 2018 to 2019. But the city's prosecutor's office is the one that will review the cases to determine who is eligible for the program. So you still gotta go through the city, you still gotta go through the mayor's office, you still gotta go through city attorney Matt Coos, who yeah. If you know about Matt Coos's track record, does not make me feel any better about this program. Prosecutors will apparently evaluate each potential participant based on the current charge and previous criminal records. There are currently 30 to 35 people in the justice system with eligible cases for the diversion program. So Shelton Shar, it is a diversion program. You are correct. And the Omaha already offers a criminal diversion program as well as traffic diversion through the Nebraska Safety Council and a mental health diversion program. So there are other diversion programs available that will allow you to have certain charges taken off of your record.
Sarah Fell says diversion removes minor drug offenses from your record. They can make sharing information part of it. Informer.
Man. So we'll definitely have to bring Gerald Kuhn on to get a little bit more information on this, and exactly is this helping the community as much as they say? Is this really what they're saying it is? Is it?
Like I said, on the surface, man, it feels like anything that can take something off your record, a minor offense that you probably shouldn't have been arrested for in the first place, and all that. And also the idea of face-to-face talking to somebody, and working things out and developing some kind of relationship with law enforcement. All sounds good on the surface, but just sounds a little bit strange. And like I said, I'd like to know more. So we'll reach out to Brother Kuhn and talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So there's that. Again, continue to chime into the chat. Let us know what you think about these things. Also, if there's anything on your hearts, your minds that's going on in the city, going on in your world, feel free to let us know, and we will try to discuss it, try to talk about it, try to look into it, and keep this thing going. We are about 15 minutes into the second hour, and one of the chat chimers sort of mentioned it a little bit ago, and we will be talking about this a little later on, talking about justice, restorative justice. The verdict has come down in the case in the trial of Nebraska Representative Jeff Fortenberry.
Guilty.
Man, yeah. We'll be talking about that coming up. Also, speaking of guilty, man, looks like Biden's been considered guilty for some of these gas prices. We'll talk about some of that coming up a little later on in the show as well. This is First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, if you all right, we're taking a break.
Let's do that. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd. We'll be right back. Stay tuned, y'all. You go nowhere. What up? First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning. There goes one. There's one.
Got him, Pops. Got him. No.
Yeah. It's the chat that got me. I'm in this chat, man.
Hey, Brother Coon is on. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey.
He heard about us and he heard about us. His ears was ringing.
Now I was just gonna say ears are probably ringing.
How you doing, Brother Coon? We were just talking about this program and we were thinking about asking you to come on the show and talk about it a little bit. So thank you for chiming into the chat this morning. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah. Let us know, man. I still got the phone number too. I'll give you a call and we'll try to bring you on. We got TD Sanders coming on Wednesday, so I think we got a Friday open of next week. If you would like to come through Friday of next week, love to have you on. Let us know. Christy North says diversion costs money as well. This is true.
Yeah, it is.
Brother Muhammad says grooming young folks. Are there trade-offs? Lots of questions there on this. So lots of questions, and we'd love to have some answers straight from you, Brother Coon, if you wouldn't mind coming on and talking about it. So
yeah,
appreciate that. Yep. In the meantime, we're back. It is 8:21. If you believe in the concept of time, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd. No Star Trek Rich this morning. He is down, not feeling well. So we want to wish him some well wishes and have him get well soon.
Yes, get well.
He did leave us with what Buddy likes to call the Trekkie words of wisdom, our Starfleet daily meditation. Today's is being moved by an emotion isn't always extraneous. Sometimes that's the whole point. I like that. And that's from Chakotay, which is the only Native American character in Star Trek universe. Once again, being moved by an emotion isn't always extraneous. Sometimes that's the whole point.
Yeah, it's almost like that's a completely 360 from the last words of wisdom. We were from using your human emotions and your human emotions failing you to, sometimes that's the point.
It's the beauty of Star Trek is all these different perspectives.
Yeah, man.
Brother Coon says, "Is there a way I can call on, or do you have to text all my responses?" Yeah, we don't have the call on feature on here, so. What I could do though is send you a link if you have like a Zoom set up.
Yeah, look like bro ready to get on right now.
That's what I'm saying. Impromptu. We want to do an impromptu session with bro.
I'm down if you know.
Yeah, that's what's up. Shoot us your email address and we'll shoot you over the link and see if you have a Zoom set up. You can come on now and we can talk about it a little bit. Miss Erica Fell says, yes, drug diversion has a fee which prevents poor people from being able to get that charge removed if the judge offers it at all. Okay, so getting a little bit more information on diversion programs and things like that. And like I said, we would love to talk to Brother Coon about this particular one. I'm going to go ahead and set up the email real quick just in case he does drop that. And,
yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Yeah. In the meantime, buddy, you want to jump into something while I try to get this set up here?
Well, as mentioned, I want to dive into this Jeff Fortenberry case. This is something that we've been looking at for quite some time. As we like to say here on the show, as always, follow the money. And it looks like, he's going from laughing to the bank to laughing to the jail cell, man. Yeah, it's not looking good for Representative Jeff Fortenberry.
Wow.
For those of you who have not been hearing or paying attention, Jeff Fortenberry is caught up in some campaign controversies. Apparently, Fortenberry was convicted on 3 counts, 1 count of scheming to falsify or conceal material facts, and 2 counts of making a false statement to a government agency. Each felony charge comes with a maximum penalty of 5 years. So the man could be looking at 15 years behind bars. His sentencing has been set for Tuesday, June 28th. The congressman will be on release until then. The federal case was placed in the hands of the jury of 8 women and 4 men Thursday after attorneys on both sides wrapped up their closing arguments. The jury is expected to deliberate for about an hour, with the deadline passed as jurors remain in the jury room. But again, the whole case centered around key evidence and an FBI recorded phone call between then Representative Fortenberry and Dr. Elias Ayoub, who is a Los Angeles doctor who hosted 2016 California Fundraiser and apparently funneled $30,000 into the congressman's campaign from a Nigerian billionaire. The secretly recorded phone call from the summer 2018 apparently lasted about 10 minutes, but was long enough for the charges to stick. Prosecutors point out that at no point in the phone call did Congressman Fortenberry say he had trouble understanding Dr. Ayoub. Dr. Ayoub told the congressman that the money came from Gilbert Chowdhury, who is a foreign national, which it is illegal for foreign nationals to contribute to campaigns. That is foreign tampering, basically. In the phone call, Representative Fortenberry asked Dr. Ayoub if he could share some dates so he could host another fundraiser. Also, Celeste Fortenberry said she could call her husband, could tell her husband was doing something else while talking with the doctor. She thought he was making breakfast, sort of alluding to he might have been distracted.
Okay.
Yeah. Celeste Fortenberry also testified about the day when FBI agents dropped by their Lincoln home for an unscheduled interview. She described it as a scary situation. She thought the two men were not federal agents, but imposters, especially since they stopped by unannounced on that Saturday. Agents testified that they wanted to test the credibility on how he responded after hearing from Dr. Ayoub explain that the campaign checks from 2016 were not on the up and up. So that was kind of the point of the unannounced visit is to test the accountability or the credibility of Representative Fortenberry, which, as we see, he's not been very credible through this whole situation. Precious, I would love to hear from you because I know you worked in campaign finances a lot. What is the linchpin in all of this, or what are your thoughts on all of this?
Let's give you a little minute to think about that and reply. Yeah. She's like, "Oh, Felonberry."
Felonberry. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah. Let's take a little minute and reply to that. We got Brother Coon on real quick, and it looks like he's moving around. We want to get him on, talk to him real quick. Yeah. Hey, Brother Coon.
Yeah, okay.
What's going on? Good morning, good people.
I see you on the move, man. We went ahead and brought you on. You probably got stuff to do today. How you doing?
Oh man, I was on my way into the office, but Shar Shelton went ahead and hit me up and was like, "Can you get on?" And I said, "Man, I saw y'all brothers." I said, "Hey, I for sure."
Hey, thank you for taking the time, and also thank you to the Shar Shelton for connecting that for us.
Yeah,
real time. That's what it's about. We live right now, so thank you for joining us. And as mentioned, we were talking about the Restorative Justice program that you're kind of behind. And I'll be honest, man, this article, I don't feel like it did it really justice. This Channel 7 article on kind of breaking down what the program is.
Yeah.
So we kind of want to hear from you specifically.
It had a side eye in the thing a little bit when we read
really.
It, so,
what were the points of contention?
Just for me, I don't know. It just sounded funny the way they put it. Like, okay, so I did something. Now I'm gonna sit back with the cop and talk to him. Sounds like a setup. You know, I'm from California, bro. So like that.
Right. I'm from Detroit, bro. So
hey. Okay. So let us know, what is the concept? What is the idea behind this restorative justice program, and how exactly does it work?
Okay, so I think everyone will basically agree that there is a discord or there's a gap between community and police, right? And so what this program does is when it's a diversion program, so it erases a charge off your record. If you feel that you are innocent, you can most certainly go to court and plead innocent and go through the civic process that way. But if you say, hey, you know what, I just want to get this off my record, and I want to go through this diversion class. This diversion class is a 4-hour class. It's really for both the participant and the law enforcement. The arresting officer or supporting officer will show up for this 4-hour class, and we will go through basic humanization. So everybody will go through some humanization exercises, workshop, if you will, that will allow the participant to and the law enforcement officer to view each other as human beings first, at the very base grassroots level. We're all human beings. We all wake up in the morning. We all have to brush our teeth, get dressed, and go to and do a job or do something to make money, to provide for ourselves. Then we go into a perspective. We just want to view everyone's perspective, and allow for that space to say, hey, I may view things differently than you. I may view the world differently than you because of my experiences. And then after that, we can dive into the restorative piece where so I view every single participant in restorative justice. I view the body cam footage from the police officer. So I am the objective party in the situation. So so no one can say, well, it didn't go down like this. No, I saw the video, and then after that, so we talk about it. We talk about the situation on both ends, from the law enforcement perspective and from the participant perspective. And then we allow that dialogue. And we have seen tremendous stories from law enforcement officers not understanding, like, well, dang, I didn't view it from your perspective. I didn't see it that way.
I bet you see that. I bet you hear that a lot, probably.
Well, on both sides. So I hear the participant from the participant side. Well, dang, I didn't know. There was a situation where a young man was the police thought he was fleeing and eluding, but to be honest, they were young, 18, 19-year-old kids. They were high, and they were trying to roll down the windows and get the smoke out the car. So you know what I'm saying? So it's just from different perspectives. The police thought they were fleeing and eluding. The kids thought that they were trying to just ride and get the weed out, the smell out the car before they got pulled over. So we have situations like that where it's just like, hey, let me view this from a different perspective. Let me take a step back, and then I am the moderator in the room, the facilitator. So I just want to be the objective third party and get people to be able to see each other's side. The goal is not for people to be friends at the end, but the goal is to respect each other's perspective by the end of the session.
So you in particular are part of this process in a big way, then, because you're kind of a moderator that is trying to understand both sides first, and then help each other to see it. Is that what you're saying?
So I developed the program. I developed a curriculum. I have 2 master's degrees. I have a master's degree in counseling. I have a master's degree in social justice. And I'm certified trained in restorative justice. So
see, that's what I was saying, buddy. If Brother Kuhn is heading it up, and now that I know that you're more of a part of it than I thought in the first place, then that it makes me feel better about the whole process. I got 2 questions. One of them comes from Ms. Erica Felt. What crimes are eligible is one question. And because I think the article that we were reading specifically started talking about like the protesters back in 2020, being kind of the ones that can receive, and get stuff off their record type of thing. And that also made us feel like, man, they took names from them brothers back in 2020. They wanted to know who was out there protesting. This just is another way to sit down and talk to them and keep track of them. You know what I'm saying? So number one, what crimes are eligible, and who is this targeted to mostly? Would you say?
Hold on.
Somebody must have.
Yeah, might have got a phone call or something, text message.
I can't hear. The audio went away.
Yeah, most likely got a text message or an alarm.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, the audio went up. Something happened with the audio.
Okay, I'm gonna say try to restart real quick.
Yeah, most likely got an alarm. We've had that in the past with guests.
Yeah, them Apple phones be can't do 2 things at once.
Okay, there we go. Back.
You back?
Okay,
Okay, cool.
Okay, nice.
All right.
So I heard that what crimes are.
Oh yeah. So the question is, what crimes are? What do you say? What crimes are eligible? Number one, and number two, who is this targeted to mostly? Because the article started talking about these protesters, and that's the thought we had, is that they're just trying to keep track of the protesters again. Like, who is this targeted to mostly?
Okay, so the the program did start based on the protesters, the mayor, myself, the chief of police, and the city prosecutor, all got together and said, "Hey, what can we do to bridge this gap between police and protesters?" And then, so restorative justice was kind of born from that, and then now it has evolved into a diversion class where anybody who, well, not anybody, you can't have any priors or any offenses in the past that would that would kick you out of the program, disqualify you, which would be like any felonies in the past. But this is minor obstruction, minor resisting, um, uh, and a few other minor misdemeanor crimes that are allowed into the program. No felonies.
Okay, so Paul Philman in the chat, who's a friend of First Sky Omaha, says a restorative model would be excellent to address Micah Taylor. He's serving 50 years. Could this model be used to help individuals in Nebraska prisons?
Not at this time. I think that this diversion program is in its infancy stage, and we have not seen the total map of how this program could work.
Okay.
And that kind of brings me to my question. There are diversion programs that already exist. I'm kind of curious to how is this different from diversion programs that already exist?
So it's just like a kind of stop program. So you get the diversion. If you speed, you get diversion. If I know they have drug diversion. This is restorative justice diversion. So it's geared towards minor crimes, like I said, minor resisting, minor obstruction, lying to a police officer, minor fleeing and looting. So those are some crimes. It's up to the prosecutor to allow crimes, whatever you've been convicted or charged with, to be admitted to the program.
And there's actually another question in the chat kind of along those lines, because one thing that I notice is different from the diversion programs that I'm aware of is not just how the diversion program or how the offender is impacted, but as you mentioned, how the officers themselves are impacted through this conversation and through this discourse. And actually, one of the chat chimers asks, what happens when an officer has multiple offenders or participants that choose a diversion program? Do you feel the arresting officer becomes desensitized over time to the various participant perspectives?
That's a great question. Thus far, we've had about 30 participants into the program. I have not seen the same officer twice.
Okay.
By and large, I would say after I view the footage, 99.8% of the officers act professionally. And if anyone else would view the body cam footage, I mean, it's amazing to see how somebody will switch the story up. You know, it's just like the fishing story. If they get taken down, oh man, I wasn't doing nothing. They just flipped me on my head. But then they forgot to add, they didn't walk past the officer and bumped on the shoulder and cussed at him and said, you know, F you, and all that, and then got taken down. But then when they come back to the hood, they want to talk to their friends. Oh man, they just dumped me on my head for nothing.
I was just minding my own business.
Yeah, you know. So we have to be accountable for ourselves. And I'm not saying that wrongdoing doesn't go on in different the police departments, including Omaha, but the footage that I've seen, about 99.8% of the footage has been professional, courteous, and upstanding. Because trust and believe, I'm from 47th and James. Like if there's some situations, if there's some S in the water, I'm gonna be on top of it.
All right.
Well, like I said, man, I'm from Southern California. I grew up in the Rodney King days. When I got to Omaha and I got pulled over the first time in 2010, I got out of the car, put the hands out, thought I was going, and I had to call my boys like, the cops is cool out here, man. They ain't even tripping. Yeah, man. And so I hear what you're saying on that. Like, most of it probably is very courteous. Every time I've ever had any experience with the cops has been fairly courteous. One more question I want to get out of here. This is an important question to us here at First Sky Omaha. We ask this all the time. Follow the money. Where is the money coming from for this program?
It's a very good question. So we have at the beginning we had a 6-month pilot period, and the mayor said, "Look, I just want to see if this works. I'm not going to put any resources to it." Then we had a generous donor in the city of Omaha that we wrote a grant for and received a grant, and now we are receiving private funding.
Okay. Private funding. Interesting.
Right. That is interesting. That's nice to know. I mean, that's cool and all. But also earlier we were talking about, Governor Ricketts and his stance, talking about, soft on crime reform policies and things like that. So as you mentioned, this is a program that's where is that coming from? Oh, excuse me. But I don't know if y'all heard that. It was like a video playing. No. Excuse me. But what I was mentioning is it would be nice to see the state area to get some kind of actual support for this program. Again, it is in its infancy, as some of the people in the chat have mentioned. It does seem like there is a potential to it. Hopefully, in the future, it can grow to help some that are in prison right now that could benefit from some restorative justice as well. So again, it's not really a question. Just again, you said it's private funding, so it doesn't really sound like the state has gotten behind it. And hopefully, as this program grows, eventually you do get that support.
And I would love that as well. We have not, even though this program has been recognized nationally by 2 different organizations. So I think I'll go speak on restorative justice in August. And we just missed being able to be a speaker at the National Restorative Justice Conference in Chicago in July. But after that, you don't have a problem putting this to the state and seeing if we can get some state funding.
Well, we talked to senators a lot here on the show. Senators Megan Hunt, Terrell McKinney, Justin Wayne. I mean, you kind of name it, Carol Blood, you name it. So we're all about not just having the conversations, but mobilizing and getting some real things done. And again, after talking to you and getting some more insight on what exactly this program is, I do think that there is some potential here, and I do think that this is something that should be expanded beyond minor offenses. I mean, if we can get officers, figuring out why people do the things that they do, and us really kind of getting on the same page, at least having some kind of understanding on a lot of things, can go further. So appreciate you for putting this together, for kind of spearheading this and taking the time to speak with us this morning, even impromptu interview. Thank you.
And I appreciate you brothers, man, for having this platform. This is amazing for the Omaha community. I want not just North Omaha, but everybody. The information that you guys put out there and the interviews that you guys do, I watch and I follow. And I think that it's great for all of Omaha.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. We'd like to do more with you, your office, cousin Franklin Thompson over there doing the thing, and yeah, we'd love to get with y'all and work some more on that. Miss Erica Phelps is thanking you for explaining this program. Precious asked, are you using ARPA funds? It sounds like you just private donor funds right now. No ARPA funds yet.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Precious says, thanks for coming on, Gerald. Yeah, appreciate you, Brother Coon. Appreciate you very much.
I appreciate you, brothers, and appreciate Precious. Big shout out to the homegirl, Precious. Big bigs, man. Been knowing her since the 7th grade. Don't forget about the little people.
Hey, history making P, as we like to call history making P.
Right.
Kimmer Snipe says, thanks for all you do, Mike. That's what's up.
I appreciate it, Kimmer.
All right, peace, man. We'll have you back another time soon.
Y'all brothers, take it easy. Have a great day.
Peace.
You as well. Peace.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brother Gerald Coon, put some respect on his name. That's what's happening. Yeah, that's I'm glad somebody reached out there and said call up. They talking about you.
Right. Thank you, Charles Shelton. Appreciate you for reaching out. Appreciate you for reaching out. And that's what we're here for. That's what it's all about, having a real conversation, real time. And we might not, always have the resources. We might not always know, but there's somebody in the community, somebody in the room that can put us in the right direction. And that's what it's all about. Each one teach one. Communication rules the nation. Let's come together and figure this thing out.
That's right, man. I think about newsrooms and how they have all these resources to say, well, let's reach out to them, and you gotta hit a reporter up that has a relationship and all this stuff.
Right.
That ain't our model, bro. Our model, we got 50 chat chimers in the room that know somebody, especially in Omaha. So that's what's up. Preston said, "Nah, you the big dog making big moves. Hey, man.
Hey,
you precious.
Trying to get like you."
Kimber's Knife says our mayor wants to bridge gaps, though. That's big news.
That is something. The fact that Mayor Stothard supported it enough to even make it a pilot program to begin with is something.
She approved a program that he introduced. That's different.
Going through the trouble of doing some research and putting something together yourself.
And the way she did it was, well, is this gonna work? And they got to do it for free until they prove it. If you want to call that support, you go ahead.
Again, that's something.
Kimber Snipe says that must be why he had to get off the phone so quick. I was talking to him on the phone and had to get off and come on here. And here he is talking. That's what's up.
No, dang, yeah.
Mama God says I get how this diversion program helps flush out offender BS, but I don't know how that flushed out officer BS, especially if they really appear to class just to keep their job. Okay. And I wanted to get that question in a little earlier. Somebody asked, like, can the officer decline that too? I mean, there's more questions that we got here. We'll definitely have them on another time. We realize that we're taking away from his work time there. But more questions out there, and I do feel a little bit better about it. I like the fact that he's the one that's mediating the situation. That says a lot to that. And like you said, it was built off the back of the protesting situation, the protesters, and I'm sure that was something that appealed to Stothard and the powers that be too. Like, oh, we get to sit down with all these people too, and get to know them a little bit too. Yeah, we'd love to do that, because they wanted to get all the information they could on the people protesting in 2020. So but I like the fact that it's something. It's a start. It's something that can help take some stuff off people's records, minor stuff, some understanding between the parties. So we'll see. Black Dynamite said Mean Gene got word the mayor, Miss Keisha, was on her neck. That's why she's playing nice. Keisha coming. Paul Philman says Benu does restorative justice in all state prisons. Okay. To learn more. I'm sure that you'll be able to tell us more about that for sure. So definitely like to hear it.
Benu.
In the meantime, 8:48, as a matter of fact, coming up on that 9:00 hour. Like I said, we don't believe in time, in the concept of time, but we can't be on the show all day either. So
got other things to do.
Mama God said, I applaud the brother regardless of if there is a process improvement needed. Yeah, I'm sure. Like, it's a start, and it's a good start. It's a good start. It's a good start from a well-informed, educated brother. So I got faith in that, and anybody who is that intelligent knows how to adjust and upgrade the situation that you start. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that works out for sure.
Again, he only said about 30 to 35 people are already in the program, so it's very, very early off, and would like to see, as just give the benefit of the doubt, give it some time. Let's see how it works out.
Yeah, for sure, man. Anything else you want to jump into before we get to the HAPS? Coming up about 10 more minutes left in the show.
Not really, man. Not really. It's
all right. You know what time it is.
Hey.
Wait a minute. Hold
on. What?
What's the HAPS?
Fake my own self out.
What's going down?
Ladies and gentlemen, It's time for the HAPS. That's the time in the show when we talk about what's going on around town and the things we need to be checking out, and time for you to tell us as well about what's going on. Oh, before we get to the HAPS though, Precious says, buddy, I did answer your Felonberry question in the chat.
Yeah, I was gonna come back around to that.
Did you see that? Did you see the comment?
No, well, I'll go back to it.
Let me I'll go up and see if we can check that, because we did ask you to come back around.
Oh yeah, I found it.
Okay, cool.
She says an individual can give a federal candidate $2,900 per election.
Oh yeah.
An individual can give a party a max of $10,000 a year for federal campaigning, and again, Fortenberry received $30,000.
And like was also said in the chat, this is just the time he got caught. I'm sure this happened before. I remember the defense was talking about he's got 1 point something million in the bank. Why would he ruin his whole reputation over 30,000? And I think that's probably what happened, man. They just caught him this time or something, you know.
Yeah, and she tried to be shady about it. Again, she says, so that's why the 30,000 was divided among individual donors. You have a limited amount you can give based on donations by individual, candidate committee, party committee, state, district, local, so on and so forth. Again, not only was it too much money, but the fact that it came from a foreign national also has something to do with it.
A Nigerian prince.
Man, and there's no telling who that Nigerian prince was, you know, whose pocket is he in? Like, where's the money really coming from? So yeah.
And why would he be interested in back and forth for Felonberry? I don't know.
Exactly. More
anyway, questions. In the meantime, like Precious said, shoulders move time.
Hey,
be wiggling in the seat,
working on my bankhead bounce.
Oh, come on with it. Hey, Kimmer Snipe says, if you have interest in South Omaha neighborhoods, tomorrow is the second half of our strategic planning session for South Omaha Neighborhood Alliance at the Kroc Center. Meet me there at 9 a.m. It goes until 12:30. Breakfast will be served. Hey, that sounds good. I kind of interested in that. I went to the Kroc Center a couple months back for the first time. That's a nice place.
Man, the Kroc Center is amazing. Man, the pool, my son used to have basketball practice out there. They got a big tree that the kids can climb in the front, like playground area. Amazing.
Hey, Mama God is asking, buddy, did you post discuss info on financial seminar webinar next week?
I'm looking for it now. I got it right now. Thanks for reminding me, Mama God. I got it. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive into it, man. This is the HAPS, where we let you know what's going on in the world around you. Some things is cool for you to get into. And home ownership is definitely cool. Something we talk about a lot here on the show. And there is a financial seminar going on, Housing to Home Ownership Program. It's a free seminar with panelists Nika Johnson, Brian Page, and Devin Thompson. They're all credit specialists, mortgage loan originator, and a realtor. So again, some brothers and sisters giving you some information on how to secure housing. That will be Tuesday the 29th. So that's coming up next Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. You can I'll repost the link for this on Friends of. So definitely check it out. More information on Friends of for Sky Omaha if you're interested. Again, Housing to Home Ownership Program.
I like it. Okay, that's what's up. Brother Muhammad says, I will be providing traffic control for Black Men United Food Pantry in the morning 9 to 12, or when it's all gone. So if you're in need of anything from the food pantry there, you know where it is. Black Men United there, that line is on 30th Street, and sometimes that line be all around back around Ames to try to roll through that pantry. So
it's a beautiful thing.
Good looking out, Brother Muhammad, providing for the neighborhoods. Appreciate that. Let's see. Paul Philman says, Restorative Justice Program in Nebraska prisons. He gave a link to a Facebook page, CJC Impact. Definitely check that out for sure. Preston McKesson says, tonight at 7, the NDP Black Caucus page is hosting congressional candidates from District 1 and 2. Senator Patty Pansing Brooks in the House. Put some respect on her name. Jaziri Kual. Senator Tony Vargas. Put some respect on his name. Alicia Shelton. Put some respect on her name. Inbox me questions. That's what's up. So that's going down tonight, 7 p.m. NDP Black Caucus page. So that's on Facebook. That's going to be a Facebook Live event. You can check it out and definitely see what's happening there. Watch party tonight for Alicia Shelton, Christy Knorr. That's what's up.
There you go.
And then also for on my end, definitely go check out if you are a comedy head. It's gonna be some comedy with Pat Hazel tonight at 7:00 at the Benson Theater. Benson Theater's firing it up.
Yeah.
So come check it out tonight. He'll be here tonight and tomorrow as well. If you want to do something else tonight, see him tomorrow, you can do that too. But check out Pat Hazel comedy special. He's actually recording a comedy album at the Benson Theater. So
that's nice.
You'll be able to hear your laugh on the laugh track.
You got one of those obnoxious laughs. That'll be in the background.
That's how I'm gonna laugh there, so I can make sure I get on the recording. Like the fool in there. And people will be like, "Well, you're not funny."
Oh man, that's hilarious. Oh yes. Tonight, Pat Hazel, Karen Morgan, a pair of jokers at the Benson Theater. Oh man, that's hilarious. Also coming up tomorrow, Dave Pontos is going to be busy, man. Not only will he be speaking at the Walk for Justice for Ernest Jackson, but he will also be present during the discussion with Dave, a discussion on racial disparities in Nebraska prisons. Again, that's going on tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. This will be a live stream event hosted by Dave Pontos. Also, Senator Megan Hunt and UNO Assistant Professor Nuri Heckler will all be in attendance as they discuss the Omaha World Herald article, Paying the Price, Well-Worn Path to Prison in North Omaha, discussing the birth to prison pipeline in North Omaha. And again, Dave Pontos is running against Don Klein for Douglas County Attorney. So definitely check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Graphic. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
There you go.
I had that graphic.
Yeah. Also, shout out to the Benson Theater. Not only will they be having the comedy show, but Choir Boy is coming up, and that's being directed by Nick Whitcomb, man.
Bro.
Man, the talented, the incomparable Mr. Nick Whitcomb. I've got the opportunity to see him a couple times during his time at North.
Yes.
Very talented person. So
there's that discussion about disparities in that Megan Hunt is going to do over there.
Yep.
So that's tomorrow at 1:30 on the 26th. And we'll be posting some things up in Friends of First Sky Omaha on the Benson Theater stuff. That Choir Boy especially. Get your tickets early for that. It's going to be amazing performances, and I'm really looking forward to that. I witnessed the practice the other day and was like, "Oh,
yeah, man,
don't bring the drama."
Oh yeah. Also, what is that? Next Sunday, I believe. Sunday, April 3rd at 11 a.m. Omaha South is having an enchilada fundraiser for their baseball team. So again, if you want to support Omaha South's baseball team, and get you some good grub in the process. Again, next Sunday at 11 a.m. Omaha South enchilada fundraiser.
That's what's up. Speaking of good grub, Wells Lavelle is back at it. Big Elk Native Soul Indian Taco fundraiser Friday, April 1st, 11 a.m. until sold out. I'm going to get some this time, bro. Center Mall, 1941 South 42nd, Center Office on the 4th floor. 402G is his thing. We'll put this in the Friends of First Sky Omaha. It's already there. It's where I got it from, as a matter of fact. So, we'll definitely have to check that out, man. I'm getting my fried bread, my tacos on. It's going down. So, and you know that when Wells Lavelle does it, it's a fundraiser, and for his office over there as well. So definitely support and go get you some good food, man. Check it out.
Also, my last thing, if you did not get a chance to get over to the Union the other day, they are still looking for contractors to assist in the building of the Black Box Theater, which will be located right there on the Deuce. Again, the Union is expanding and continuing the good work that they're doing. So the next meeting for potential contractors is Wednesday, March 30th. Again, that's next Wednesday, March 30th at 6 p.m. Again, that's the Black Box Theater working meeting, trying to find some hands and some people to get involved with that. That's at the Union for Contemporary Arts next Wednesday.
There you go. There's that Alicia Shelton fundraiser that's happening Friday, March 25th. That is today. That's 5:30 today. You needed RSVP, but I think that you could probably still roll and check it out. And definitely support Alicia Shelton. Even if you don't go to this fundraiser, raise some funds for her, help her out for her run for Congress. We definitely use Alicia Shelton in there for sure. And then don't forget about the walk. We're going to talk about it again because this is an important one right here. Send Ernest Home benefit walk happening tomorrow morning, 11:30. That's weather permitting. It's going to start at 65th and Hartman. and there'll be a fundraiser and all kinds of stuff. Social hall from 1 to 4. Lots of stuff going on tomorrow. Guest speaker Dave Pontos, who has been on the show before and wants to come on through again and talk. He talked to me the other day. He said things really picked up after he came on the show, man, as far as just his exposure is concerned. So once again, Dave Pontos is running where Don Klein is now. And we would love to hear more from him. So guest speaker at the St. Ernest Home Walk, Benefit Walk and Fundraiser. Bring your cash apps and your dollars to try to help that, and bring your feet. Come walk and meet me out there. I will be out there tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, man.
And on that note, there's many more things that we wanted to talk about too. I wanted to talk about checking out Swing Left Nebraska podcast, who's talking to Tony Vargas. Yeah, we definitely need to talk to them. Oh, I'm seeing some stuff in the chat I'm probably missing now.
Yeah, chat's going off.
Yeah, Miss Snipes, Lordy, the fry bread. I heard that. Christy Norris says no amount is too small. Every dollar matters. Okay, cool. So really, yeah, man. Feel better, Richard Lewis III, Star Trek Rich. Please feel better.
Yes.
Mama God says Paul B and Buddy, we need to have a party to celebrate the universe lining you two together. This community celebrate the joining of your spirits. I will decorate and participate in cooking for it.
Paul,
God, you know, I've already been to a Super Bowl party and had your cooking, so
man, you know how my dudes get down, man.
Every day that I sit at home as a single man and open my ramen packet, I think, boy, I wish Mama God, I wish there was a Super Bowl right now,
man. But I'm gonna have to caution you to take it easy, moms. Talk about my dance moves. Talk about I dance like my dad, and so we're take it easy.
Hey, we're going to get out of here. We're already late, 9:01. Thank you, everybody. Pop says, love the show times two. I watched on Facebook and YouTube at the same time, and the show was phenomenal on both. Have a great weekend, First Sky fan. That's what's up, Pop.
Man, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Definitely want to dive into Miss Erica Phelps' comment. She says, I love that we may not always agree with each other, but we still respect the hard work and intentions. I appreciate the information this morning. Thank you for facilitating this and those who have spoke up. Another day of learning. Man, wow. Thank you.
That's what's up. Thank you. Appreciate that. We did not get to the Maha announcements today, but I did want to give a quick shout out to Marcy Yates, who will be at Maha. Man, friend of First Sky Omaha, Marcy Yates, artist, is going down. So yeah, Maha. We'll talk about that Monday. The little rivalry going on between the two festivals that are going on right now. So we'll talk about that.
Speaking of that, Mason Jigsaw will be performing at the other festival, Outlandia. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Shout out to Mason Jigsaw making the lineup for Outlandia. Yeah, we'll be talking about that coming up, y'all.
Oh man, Christy Norris says yes. The chat chimers need to get together. We will definitely do that, especially when Buddy is back in town at the end of April. Be looking out for that. We'll be having a party. We'll probably do it at Tiny House again. Shout out to Tiny House, another partner of First Sky Omaha. Appreciate it. Lee Keisha says, thanks, guys. So grateful for your voices. Appreciate that. Miss Erica Fell says, be good to yourselves. Everyone drink water and keep your space. I love it. Von Chapman says, warp speed again. Slow down and enjoy the information. If you've missed any parts of the show, you can always go back to Facebook and watch the show again. We leave it up so that you can, continue to watch it all throughout the day. Yep. Precious says, buddy, I'm so behind. I didn't realize that was your mom. That's Mama God. Yeah.
Mama God.
And Brother Muhammad says, keep on pushing. Can't stop now.
Hey, keep on pushing.
Hey, because you can't stop now.
Hey.
Yeah, we have to. They've been doing some little tiny desk concerts. I don't know if you saw that. Messengers came in and did some things here at Weberized Studios for a Stuart Chittenden show.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been helping them get that together. We might have a Big Wade and the Black Swan come and do a tiny desk concert in here or something like that. So yeah, stay tuned. Things to come for season. What is it going to be, 4?
Yeah.
Season 4, baby.
Warp speed, y'all.
That's what's up. One last one. Paul Philman puts a link in the chat. He says Haley Piper Haas doing rehearsals in NSP for play put on by residents later this summer. Okay, that's a cool little hap. We'll definitely look into that. Thanks for providing that link with your hap.
Yes,
we can look into it further. In the meantime, 903 Buddy, You got some words for the people?
Man, as always, it's a love affair. As my Dukes just said, First Sky is a loving family, and that is true indeed, man. We always love and appreciate all the chat chimers, even the ghost listeners out there, those of you who are not chiming into the chat, joining the conversation, but still listening, soaking in the information, getting a few laughs and giggles here and there, man. We appreciate you. We still love you. We thank you. And I urge you to tell a friend, man. Catch the same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, live here on First Sky Omaha. And with that, Paul B.
Yo.
Take it away, man.
Want to give thanks to the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before them. Shout out to you, all the chat chimers who are our co-hosts. We really appreciate it. Can't do this without you. Shout out to everybody who is a reoccurring member of the station as well. Kind of went over the numbers yesterday and was really encouraged by the fact that we, for the first year, we're doing pretty good, and we can use more people that can donate. But hey, man, we're doing great, and we doing it on our own terms, and that's what this is all about. So help us to continue to do that. Go to First Sky Omaha, hit the donate button if you're already not a reoccurring member of the station. To everybody that is, we got t-shirts for you, y'all. Give me some time. I know y'all sent me some sizes. We don't have certain sizes and all that kind of stuff. As a matter of fact, I tell you what, let's do this. We'll put an event together when Buddy gets in town at the end of April. We'll just bring all the shirts, and you guys just take what you need.
I'm with that.
Late April,
y'all. Late April.
So we'll start planning that party now, getting it going out here. As a matter of fact, I'll hit up Tiny House and we'll see what's happening. The weather should be great at that point, and it should be a good time, man.
Hey, Precious, talk about let's host a fundraiser. All right.
That's what we need. That's what we need. We appreciate it. We need.
All right.
This is the year that we're going to try to get all the help we need to further what we need to do here. So, we know we do this, and we both got full-time other jobs and stuff like that. So we're doing the best we can. But thank you when you guys offer to help, and we'll take you up on that so we can go ahead and push this thing forward and keep doing it for sure. So
yeah, man.
Yeah. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. We're going to go ahead and get out of here, man. This is the latest we probably ever been. But it's a good day. It's a good Friday. Have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves. Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the Red